Memphis Depay, one of them, being picked, even though he's injured. He's not played since September for the Netherlands. He's played less than 150 minutes with Barcelona this season. How much do the Dutch depend on him being fit in this team?
Oh, definitely. Look, Memphis is one of the key figures. Why? Because he's also the top scorer in that side. But away from that, we got lines, in teams, and I'm sure, Craig also, like, when we play, we always have lines in the team. So in the forwards, Memphis Depay, in the middle of the park, we have the Young, and in the back line is Van Dijk. The coach made it clear, Louis van Gaal. He said, look, Memphis, I'm going to do things that I might haven't done with my national team and wait for you to get fit again. So knowing that, he knows already. He said it almost, in his interview. He said in the first game, you might not be starting because you might not be ready for that game. But afterwards, he can do things like this. And he also gambled on him before his last World Cup. When Van Gaal was coach, he brought Memphis Depay with him. Now, he's clearly counting him in. He did it with other players too. Simons he brought with him. It's a player that he never featured in his team. He has more players. I think he picked about maybe 3 guys in his side, including regarding Memphis, that he picked. And he says, look, just what you guys talked about, Holland has the same thing. He said that. He said, I'm going to be 5 weeks away with this squad. I want to make sure everybody has the same mindset. Because if they don't, I don't want to spend that time with them. Also, Van Gaal is so straight up with everything that he answered, and also that's a little bit his character, because he just said to the journalists too, he said, if you're going to ask me or try to write people up and say that I have to pick them, I pick what I want. And he was really, really stern about it. He did not care what they said.
Louis van Gaal said he'd be ready for the first game, but it might be as a sub. What are your thoughts on picking players that are injured?
I mean, Senegal, have Senegal announced it? I don't know.
Yes,
Sadio Mane.
Yes, Sadio Mane's in. Yeah.
That scenario is probably similar. At the end of the day, you have other people there. You think about the long game. If you're certain countries, although I'd be interested to know what they're saying in Holland about the expectations about how far this team could go. I mean, I would imagine for sure they're definitely not getting out of the group would be seen as a failure. And so you can start looking a little bit further ahead. Even if he misses the first 2 games, how important is he going to be if we get out and manage to win through and get to a quarter-final? Is he going to be available? Is he going to be fit? And you sort of weigh that up with, right, if I don't take him, who else do I take? And I would imagine looking at that forward line in that Dutch squad, there's not a lot of depth beyond that, to be quite frank with you. So then you just balance up the fact that there's a chance he's probably going to play. It's not like he's got a broken leg and he's got no chance. So yeah, it's totally understand. I mean, put it one way: if it was me, and I know he hasn't played much, but if I'd played and I was a regular and I was somebody that the manager had relied on, and I was saying to him, look, I might be fit for the first game, but I'll definitely be fit within a week or 2, and I'll be available for you. If a manager said, I'm not taking you, I would be absolutely fuming. So I think it's the right thing to do for him to take him.
Looking at that Dutch squad, Ian, it's pretty stacked. Sorry, go on, Mario.
No, I agree with Craig. That's exactly what happened, Craig, because he will normally doesn't even say moments like, Louis van Gaal, I know him because, he clearly gave me my Holland debut and my Ajax debut, but he is that guy. He normally would never pick an injured player to go in that tournament. He is the only player he gave that situation to and said to him, get fit and I'll take you with me. And the funny part is, like, the clinic where I go when I come home, that's where Memphis is right now. And he's using all that facility as well. And the clinic is really good, but they just, they are believing that they can get him ready for the game, for the tournament.
Okay.
So going back to that, just briefly, what are the expectations in Holland for this side, realistic?
No, the expectation is not of them winning that. They're writing it up and feeling like they will get out of the group, but they don't have anything after that because they feel like, look, we all know Louis van Gaal's situation. You understand? I don't know if you guys are familiar with that he's suffering from a cancer situation, and it came out in the public. And he carried on and doing his training and doing everything. So I have a lot of respect for someone like that because he put his personal problem on the side and wants to support the nation. But on the other part, it's also that people are questioning it because it's not anymore. Look, we always go to face because we are a smaller nation, but we always go to faces in the sense of, like, we have great talents But now we're almost going through that phase where we're looking to establish again that kind of quality, because we had a tough quality before in the World Cup that we lost in 2010. But now, let's see how far they can go, because he brought a lot of young talents and hoping for them to start a new generation again for Holland.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.